All right, this is our video discussion for family focused ministry. And the question is, when church parents always respond to misbehavior with angry outbursts, what would you expect to see if you carefully observe their children? Also, when church parents always ignore the misbehavior of children, what would you expect to see if you carefully observe those children? And I think my answer was whenever you observe a child whose parents always respond in anger, that kid normally is going to be angry. They're normally going to be just people who respond to stressful situations in anger or in sarcasm or with yelling, and it's not healthy because a lot of times that's just not going to work when they get older. Either it's gonna have people isolate from them, or it's gonna have people look at them in a certain way. But yeah, I think that also with if there's somebody that ignores the misbehavior of children, then they're just gonna always be getting in trouble, and they'll do it, and they'll never really learn from it. And I think it's just in the grand scheme of things, the process is that everything that we do, we're just gonna have more fruit of it. So how we're taught as when we're growing up, we're gonna have that fruit when we get older. And I think a lot of times parents don't think that way, or they think that hopefully what I say to my kids and not necessarily what I do is what they pick up. But more often than not, we pick up what our parents do, not necessarily what they say. So, all right, whoever's next.
Yeah, I agree with
So
you don't matter. Go ahead, Mary.
you go first, Casey.
Yeah, I agree with Isaiah on that. I think the first part of the question is that that answers that if the parents are constantly arguing and you there's a saying that you are who you hang out with and all that kind of stuff, but you are who your parents are. And so, I mean, if that's how they're going to grow up. If they respond with outbursts of anger, they're going to grow up with outbursts of anger. And that's just unfortunately how it is. That's all they know. That they don't know how to handle it, how to handle it any other way, how to not handle it. Especially if mom and dad are divorced and they grew up in a divorced home, which makes it even worse because they're arguing all the time and fighting. That's what they see. So the second part of that question is if the parents ignore it, yeah, for sure. I mean, like the parents ignore it, like Isaiah said, they're gonna be in trouble. I mean, all the time, and and when other people try to discipline their kids, and mom and dad gonna get upset, like why are you disciplining my kid? Well, and then it causes a huge issue there. So I think it really comes down to ultimately is in situations, what do you do in those situations? That you just have to really train up those parents and disciple them on what it's true like to be a parent and the training that hey, try not to get angry at your kids. I mean, I know we can get angry, but don't outburst in front of them. You're gonna outburst, go somewhere where they can't see it, because at the same time, they're going to grow up who they are going to be. And so, I think that's kind of where I get out of the question is that to just watch what we say around our kids. When we have kids, and like I know I don't have them, Isaiah don't have them. I'm saying we have kids. It's a learning stage. It's like even me growing up. Sometimes I catch my anger from my father. Sometimes, and I'm like, oh man, I have to catch myself because I see him out there. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation that you just have to just kind of figure out where you're going and how you handle the situation. Really, how ultimately your kids are going to handle it.
Yeah, I think the parents who always responds with anger, they likely form a bad habit for their kids that they obey only if their parents like shout or parents like angry outburst. So that forms like they communicate like wrong attitude. So the kids grow up in that kind of family, they're likely like not obeying to any other adults or other authorities when they are not like when they are kind or when they're gentle or they are like not angry. So I think that's a like not having not good attitude And then I think the parents who always ignore the misbehavior of children, their kids, when I observe them, they get worse, like when they are ignored, because they always want to get more attention from their parents or other adults. So they always like get worse, and then they do worse things to get more attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. Awesome. So Taylor is normally in this group, and I'm assuming that she will get to you, and she'll let you know what she needs to do for the assignment. But for us, this is our group, and thank you for watching. Have a nice night.